Hi, welcome to are we at part 7 or 8 now? I can't remember, to be quite honest with you. It's getting a bit ridiculous, isn't it? This is second part of the video of compound cakes, basically. I called this a muscle cake in the last video, I think, not realising it is actually a compound, because I've just lifted the lid on it and had a look. This used to be by Planet Fireworks, and it was called Wow, and I think that's the one I've seen in a demo last year. But this is pretty much exactly the same thing. It's now Zeus Fireworks' baby, and they've rebadged it as Legend, and it's nice packaging, to be quite honest. This is going to be my finale firework for this year, and I don't think I'll put anything else with it because I've seen it fired in the flesh and it was phenomenal. The duration isn't great, but it's high impact, fast firing, and it's basically the ideal finale, really, for me anyway. That's what I think. So if you can get this for under 100 quid, you're doing well, I would say. I know some people have got it for a lot less, but that was end of line stock, and I think it was when it was Planet, so you might not get it mega cheap. But let's have a look at the NEC, and we'll have a look in terms of the price, whether it's a decent amount of money. So I think I've heard some people say it's about 20 seconds of duration, but it should be about 45 seconds if it fires correctly. But sometimes it depends with the fusing of the compound firework as to how quick it is. So really, yeah, that's one. It's nearly 1.5 kilos of powder in the whole thing, which, if you can get it for just around the 100 quid mark, you're doing really well, really. But obviously, like I say, if you want a show in a box, this isn't the one really to get. This is a finale firework for people that are doing a slightly bigger display, I would suggest. And it says on the box Cat F2, which technically, I think you could go to 8 or 15 meters. There's no way you're ever going to do that, and I don't know why it says Cat F2. It should be treated as a Cat 3 firework, this beast. So it's what's called, I think, a W firer. It's a 3-pronged fan, and it's relentless. Just keeps going. There's no real gaps in it, or there shouldn't be. And I think it's comprised of 3 cakes. What's the bore size here? It says, yeah, plus or minus 30 seconds for the duration, so it's going to vary. Obviously got a 30-meter height there, and there's the effects there. 135 shots, so red dahlias, silver glitter, brocade crown, silver glitter, blue and gold glitter, brocade crown with silver glitter. And the glitter it's got good hang time as well, so the effects will sort of overlap slightly as well. I'll have to see if I can dig out the video that I've got from the demo night last year, and I'll try and stick it on at some point if I can find it. So let's have a look under the bonnet and see what it looks like inside. There we go. Anyone would think I'd done this earlier. So it looks slightly more professional, doesn't it, this one? And I don't know, there's something about having the tubes that you can actually physically see, rather than them just being covered up. I've still ripped this off, to be honest, because this is just going to leave lots of plastic debris after it's fired. So, actually, yeah, we'll be able to move these fuses out of the way and then sort it out. So obviously, where's this one? Is that the main one? Yeah, so fuse 1. That's your main lighting fuse, so you're lighting it from the middle. Okay, and look what the fuse does there. Immediately branches off, so these 3 cakes are going to go off. Technically they should go off simultaneously, so one from here, one from there, one from there, all at the same time, and sequential then from there on in, and then it should sequence back, obviously, and just in case all else fails, you've got a reserve fuse, so you could fire it backwards. And to be honest, with this kind of firework, you could fire it backwards and you wouldn't really notice much difference, really, in terms of the effect, I don't think. It's that faster firing. So yeah, that's it. It's a slightly different take on the other two compounds that we've seen. Different type of firing pattern there completely, with the 3 cakes sequential. So yeah, that's Legend from Zeus, my finale for 2018. So looking forward to that. Then this was a leftover from last year, and I didn't include it on any of the videos, I don't think. It was from Latif's down in Birmingham, and I can't remember how much I paid. I want to say I paid 50 quid, but I don't think that's right. I think it's about 100 quid, to be honest. I think that's about right. So these guys, as it says, they've spelt firework wrong, haven't they? But because the Dutch company, I think it's Broekhoff or Broekhoff, however you want to pronounce it. I'm going to say Broekhoff because I like the sound of that. So Extreme Spirit, these are all 30mm tubes. So the only downside to this compound cake is you have to fuse it yourself. You have to tie them together, as you will see. Sorry. There'll be a forward fuse and a reverse fuse, so that's going to be the last cake, I would imagine. And this one's going to be the first cake in the series. So yeah, you will like there, although it's all foreign. So yeah, fire here. You have to detach this reserve fuse into the fuse of the next cake, and then obviously that will fire into this one. Then obviously you're going to have to detach these two, tie them together, and detach these two, tie them together, detach these two, tie them together, and hope that your fusing skills are decent. So that's the only downside to this compound, is you've got to do a bit of DIY on it. So obviously 5 cakes there, all 30mm, and obviously that is all straight shooting, so there's no fan effect. So this will be in the main body of my display gearing up to the finale, because there's no fan effect basically. Combination of different effects from the video I saw. It was like strobes, mines and stars, and the usual brocade crowns, palms, and I think they call them flower crowns. So it doesn't actually say the NEC on here. Obviously gross weight's 15 kilos, NEC, so 2.5 kilos. I think it was about 100 quid. If Latif's are still doing these, or anyone else, and you can get them for that price, flipping bite their hand off, because that's a phenomenal amount of powder weight for the money, if you can get that for 100 quid. So I feel quite pleased with myself there. So obviously going to have to take off the lid for this and trim it down, and let's see if we can get one of these cakes out actually and have a little look. You could just fire them on their own, I guess. So you see they're labelled, so Spirit 1, Spirit 2, so you know which way they go if you take them out of the box. So that's quite handy actually. So that's Dutch, French and German. So we haven't got any in English, so who knows what it does. It's obviously not designed for this market really, unless it's on this side. Nope, it isn't. So in fact, there you go. 20 shots, silver blink mine, silver blinking tail to silver strobe. Now I know this is probably going to be very good, because I had its little sort of brother last year as well. I bought this, a buy one get one free. So I had Extreme Rhythm, which was a Cat 2, slightly smaller bore. Might have been about 20mm, and it was phenomenal. I wish I'd have bought 2 of them, but I've got high hopes for this one. So that's Extreme Spirit from Broekhoff Fireworks Firework Expert, and that concludes the compounds for this year. Thanks for watching.